Hello, everybody. Welcome to Moronic History Podcast. I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah, we got
Rumbly
Rumbly back.
Rex.
Woo!
Anyway,
So let's explain the basic premise of this podcast. How about that?
okie dokie.
Do you want me to explain it, or?
Well, I don't care.
All right. The basic premise is that we're going to take dumb stuff in history, and there is a lot of it, and we're going to talk about it. We're gonna have slides. They're not gonna be good, but they will be there.
They will. Trust me. I've seen them.
They're there. They're not great, but they're here. So this is episode 1. There's obviously going to be kinks in the program, but we'll work them out as soon as we can. How often this will be, I have no idea.
Just whenever we have time, I guess.
Time and a topic, I suppose.
Hey, yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay, so the first one, this first episode will be on the War of the Worlds panic. I forgot the S in world.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, start.
War of the World panic.
Okay. Well, let's just get into it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So the War of the Worlds was originally a book series that was written by H.G. Wells in 1898. The basic story is that Martians come from Mars and invade Earth, but it's World War One. It's just World War One.
Ah, so that's how that started.
Yeah, look at the man's. He is. There is nothing going on in that head, huh?
Dude, my man's is depressed on some level.
Yeah. Okay. My
As
favorite
they say.
aspect about this is that they literally use chemical warfare in the book. They use chemical warfare.
Ironic.
Very
Very
like
hard.
they have battleship battles. They had like dreadnoughts fighting against alien warships. It's some stuff.
Interesting book. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Good? Not really.
I have no idea. I've never read it.
I'm also making that up.
Yeah. This book was written what, two 124 years ago?
Ish,
26.
yeah.
Yeah, 24. Yeah.
24,
So, yeah.
I think.
Okay. So, in 1938, a radio show called The Mercury Theater on Air would adapt novels onto the radio by using different voices and narrators. It was hosted by Orson Welles, as seen on the left, looking like Al Capone.
Yeah, very much. Very much so.
Each episode was about an hour long. It ran from July 11th, 1938 to December 4th, 1938. So, not that very long running. Pretty short.
Very. Jesus.
It did not. Yeah, it was a couple of months, and then
Oh my god.
actually this controversy is one of the big reasons that it got called off the air. They had a couple of other episodes lined up, and they were like, "Okay, we'll finish these out, and then we're done." There weren't too many viewers on it, but it was enough to be known to the people.
They were just sitting one night and were like, this would be a good idea.
They were like, "Hey, it's kind of how this podcast started, huh?"
Yeah, they were like, this would be good.
Yeah, that's how this podcast started. We were just sitting there like, you know what'd be funny? And
It'd be
then we did
fun.
this. I'm sorry. Um,
Yeah.
on Halloween night, 1938. Halloween night was the 30th of October in 1938. I don't know why.
It
The
just
Merc,
was.
yeah, I don't know. I maybe at some
It just
point,
is.
yeah, at some point it changed from the 31st to the third. I don't know.
Eh.
The Mercury Theater on Air aired an episode with an edition of the book War of the Worlds. Since it did not have many listeners, the recognition before this event was it didn't have a lot. So this is like the big breakout for them, but not for a good reason at all. Also, I love the
No.
everybody standing around a 1930s microphone. My favorite.
Oh yeah. My favorite all-time photo. Yes.
Oh,
Indeed.
here's here's like
What
a
am I
you.
what am I
This is
looking at?
a artist rendition of one of the War of the Worlds things. I'm 90% sure what that big alien thing is carrying is a gun, but I could be wrong.
It looks like a giant fish with 3 legs with jellyfish tentacles, 2 arms, holding a staff, saying "Hoorah!" as
It's
him
just
and his fellow men go to war.
yeah, charging the British lines while the men are like, "Tally ho, lads! Hold the line for king and country!" I
And
don't.
then obliterated.
Yeah, and then they died because they
Yep.
died. The War of the Worlds episode was a rendition of the story and had during it new reports that Martians had invaded the planet. Note, during the broadcast, 4 times was it said that this was a work of fiction, so something like what happened wouldn't happen.
Oh.
So, most people tuned in either after there were 4 of them. One at the start, one before the break, one after the break, and one right at the end. Most people tuned in after the first one and before any of the other one, and like they got off after or before any of the other ones. So
Oh.
people were like, "Oh no." Don't mind Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. It'll make sense in a second, don't worry. It'll make sense in a second.
Why?
Don't. I couldn't find an actual PNG. I found a fake
I'm
PNG.
so confused.
After this, so people listened to this and thought that this was actually an announcement that Martians had invaded the planet. So,
Oh,
yes, they thought,
that is
yes.
not.
Many people called news sources, and this led to a lot of misreporting of the amount of people who had done it. Apparently, somebody called the station claiming to be the mayor of a small town saying that there was a riot. I imagine that the mayor of the small town looks something like that. Something like Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. I might have found one with a comically enlarged hat.
Oh, might. Oh, might.
Maybe.
Really? Oh,
It's
maybe. Okay, that's news to me.
is it?
It's not like I'm looking directly at one or nothing. No, not at all.
Yeah, so that's why the PNG is kind of bad. Okay. Okay. Let's
I'm
explain.
sorry.
Many people in this time were very anxious because of the tension in the pre-World War II times. Many took this as a real newscast, and after calling the station, Orson, the broadcaster, told them that there was no aliens, but because people are so giga-brained, they thought he was lying to them because the aliens had him like held hostage.
Oh my. I I'm sorry. Why is tension force?
Well, I couldn't
Why is
find
that on the screen?
because there was a lot of tension in in
I,
World War.
we went from we went from history to science real quick. Why?
I couldn't find a picture that just said tension over a map of Europe, and I wasn't about to edit a picture for that.
Lazy.
I
That's why I call it.
maybe, but you can't complain.
I can. I can
I,
actually.
I
I can complain. I'm not going to though.
did we announce who we actually were, or did we just kind of or we just kind of assumed
I
every?
think they know.
Yeah. If you
It's
guys don't
fine.
know, I'm Sevron42. You're watching my channel. You probably know who I am. My guest is Rumbly Rex.
Hi.
Okay.
I think I already established this, but oh well.
Don't worry about it. This is the first episode. Everybody knows the first episodes suck.
Very true.
Moving on. Causes. It was found that many people missed the disclaimer that the story was a work of fiction because it was running at the same time as a popular show. So, what would happen is that people were like, you know how people will just like, they used to like switch between cable channels just like randomly?
Until they found a show that they liked, they were
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
ah,
Or they found something interesting. Well, people used to do that
Timothy,
with
stop clicking the damn buttons. I'm looking for a show, Dad.
people used to do that with the radio. So there was a like there was another popular radio show that ran at the same time as the Mercury Theater on air. And people would just like the one show would go on break and they would flip the channel and it would just be them talking about how Martians are invading the planet. So one thing you really need to know about things in this time is that radio was the way that people found out about how things were going in Europe, like if a war were to break out. So a lot of people had found, this would have been, what, 1938? Would the Sudetenland have been annexed yet? I should know this. Rumbly. Did I lose him?
Hello?
Oh, I
Oh,
thought we lost you.
I accidentally muted myself.
Oh, when was
No,
this?
I don't, depending on the month. I think it was in
Um,
August of 1938. I'm not too sure.
I'm looking it up. Give me a second.
Okay.
1938 September. This was in
Dang it, I was a
October.
month
So yes,
off.
the Sudetenland, Germany, the Sudetenland.
We'll call him that from now on.
Down in the south, we got Sudetenland.
Mm-hmm.
Sudeten. That's some American stuff right there.
God damn.
Other than my terrible Texas accent, so the Sudetenland had been annexed, so people were like, they were waiting for the war to break out practically. So a lot of people were, if there was news of a war going on, they were like, okay. So about 1/3 of the listeners had thought that the Germans had invaded, they caught like that little, or another like chunk of them thought that a natural disaster had happened. So there was a lot of like conflicting things. Some people thought it was Martians, some people thought it was the Germans. Which one's worse? It's the Germans.
Okay, but which one would be worse?
The Okay, it depends. Do the Martians want to do they want to like wipe out humanity?
It's a mixed feeling.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay.
Moving on.
Stupid things that happen afterwards. Adolf Hitler, everybody's favorite German chancellor and Führer,
Oh yeah. Everybody's favorite,
everybody's referenced this event.
including Germany.
Yes, referenced this in a speech he did in Germany. I don't remember where, as evidence that the American media was corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
No, what he should have just said is that this proves that the American people are idiots. That would have been such a better spin.
It would have been.
Like, he could have just gone up and said,
But
people of Germany, the Americans believe that Martians had invaded us. They are stupid. And then, like, get off the stage. Bam, you're done.
but they're also not very intelligent.
The Nazi Germans, yeah. Not known for their
They are also not very smart.
Yeah, not known for their intelligence. Barbarossa. Of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It is believed
God.
that about 1.7 million listeners thought this was an actual news broadcast.
I'm making myself cough now.
It just dies on
Dying.
the podcast. All right, that's the end of the Moronic History podcast. Thank you all.
It ends here.
No, you were just dying. No,
we're continuing.
No, we're good. You're not
with
dying?
your dead corpse.
We will puppet your dead corpse and AI your voice.
Drag me to the fountain of youth and dunk me in there a few times. I'll come back.
Yeah, hope for the best. Okay.
Yeah.
So the event was way overblown. A lot of people just really didn't hear about it because the show was not that popular. But it got a lot of news reporting because people called in and were like, holy crap, the Martians are invading. Help. But it was a lot smaller than it was made out to be, but it is so goddamn funny.
It is, yeah.
Imagine this. Imagine this happened today. Like, you get like Elon Musk's post something on Twitter is like, the Martians are invading. And then like half of Twitter tech bros believe him.
Yeah,
I,
man, I believe that.
I say
That's
that.
my impression of one of them. It's very
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, no, they'd have 8 chins and a neck beard.
Yeah.
That's what you're missing. You're missing the whole.
The
Yeah, that you're missing that. Um, the Mercury, the Mercury Theater on Air got into the Radio Hall of Fame after this, and the War of the Worlds episode is actually in the Library of Congress.
No, what?
It got into the Library of Congress, like the
They
big.
they they just had this.
Yeah, I think they have a recording of it, just like they have it. The Big Boy Library.
Huh.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier,
I have, but I don't think I should say them.
what?
I don't know. I don't want the government being like, "Hey, taxes."
Oh, you're committing tax fraud?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, that's
Oh,
my.
hey, wait, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. I don't pay my taxes.
I don't pay taxes.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't make money. You pay taxes.
Exactly,
Yeah, can't pay taxes. You don't make money.
exactly. See, me and you, similar.
Like I said, the show after this got a lot of press, and apparently there's a story of Orson Welles, the guy who did that, had to give an interview the next day on like 2 hours of sleep. So he gave like the most tired interview. I imagine he like drank 8 cups of coffee right
He
before.
was like,
I
it's it's
he
it's
basically got on that and was like, yeah,
1938,
yeah.
and then died.
I didn't mean to do this. There was I couldn't find actual reporting if there was a riot. So Doug Dimmadome, I don't know if he was an actual like mayor. I,
Might have been. I mean,
I hope my headcanon is that it did actually happen and somebody in a comically tall cowboy hat.
Matt came along and was
Yes.
like, "Hey, they're invading.
There-
They're coming.
yeah, and there was
The
just
aliens are coming.
yeah, there's a small midwestern town who had arms ready to go.
They're here. I can see them." And it turns out to be a nation.
It's one guy.
It's one man with
Dude,
his dinner in hand.
1938 midwestern town. Yeah, I can see that.
With one dude
The
with one
only
rabbit in
worst
hand.
the only worst place in 1930s America was probably the South.
Yeah,
Like,
that's where I'm imagining this happened.
oh no, it did. It was a midwestern town.
Oh, okay.
It was a it was a it was a
Okay.
mid.
Then I'm picturing it right. I'm
You
picturing it
know,
right. Okay.
you were spot on. You had that like
Spot on.
zeroed in.
Zeroed in, honed in. I know skill. I mean,
Yeah. So that's all I have for
skill
notes and
issue.
slides. Do you have any like comments on this just really
Dumb.
yeah.
This dumb. This thing.
What have we learned? People are stupid. That is going to be the
That's pretty much the moral of this. People are dumb.
yeah, the moral of this podcast will be people
And
are dumb.
and and it's also Sevron educating Rumbly because
I write all the notes.
and I no idea.
Rumbly is here to act as like the third party and to make jokes, which I greatly
Uh-huh,
appreciate.
yeah. Yeah, I'm the funny guy. I'm
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
I'm the teacher who stands up in front of the class and says, "All right, kids, settle down. We're gonna learn about some stuff." And
And I'm the student that raises their hand and makes a funny joke about the class, and
yes, that is
no one really appreciates me, and I just sit in the corner crying and weeping because
yeah.
I'm not as funny as I portray myself to be, and then I die alone in a sad corner of my house. I'm sorry, this is the game.
Okay. Oh, okay. Um,
While I turn my stick of butter for dinner in my bowl with a wooden spoon, and I just sit there and just yeah,
I did.
that's how I imagine it.
Welcome to the Moronic History Podcast, therapy sessions for me and Rumbly.
Yep.
Um,
There.
uh,
Yep.
Thank you guys
All
for
the
listening.
lights flickering in the corner,
Oh
and I'm just
God,
sitting
I'm gonna cut this off before we get too deep.
there.
I
Okay.
can't get demonetized because I'm not monetized, but I'm not risking it.
All right.
Thank you
See
all
you
for
guys
joining.
next
Yeah,
time.
thank you all for joining us. The next one will be on how a Russian train ended up in the hands of a bunch of Czechs and ended up in China and Japan. Um,
Don't know how, don't know when, but we're gonna find out.
we're gonna.
Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you guys. See ya.
See ya.